Guys. Okay, welcome to our live. Okay, there's some technical issues with the video. I can't seem to load it. I wanted to do like an intro video, but it can't seem to load. But it's fine. Okay, all right. Welcome to our live, everybody, on the benefits of paintball for fitness, and this is our physical wellness series, which I'll be inviting three guests who will be joining me for this Sunday's live. All right. So today we'll get to know more about what's paintball and how is it beneficial for our fitness, our physical fitness especially. Okay. So these guests that I'll be inviting them will be in the paintball community. Okay. And I'll be calling them in a while. So maybe just to share a bit about before I get them in lah. Okay. For those of you who just joined us, okay, welcome. So we are going to talk about we have Mr. Uncle Ashraf. Oh, thank you for joining the live. Okay, I'll get the guest soon. Okay, so you'll just be patient. Okay, just to share, Grundy has been active in the paintball community industry since 2010. So when we started off with the business, we actually collaborated with so shout out to the Red Dynasty Paintball Park team. Okay, the 8 paintball group, so we like Ben Xiao, Jane Ko, who has been actively, they are like the main big players in the paintball community in Singapore. Okay, and that's where I also got into. I'm the vice president for August Paintball Club. So together we'll be Fida Alice. Fida, one of my, she's my president for AGP. Okay, if you're watching, okay, thank you so much for like really being with me to really push the paintball community. So since then, we were actively really bringing this paintball scene to the community as much as we can. And as you all know, that there's the recreational and the tournament paintball. So today we're going to talk about a bit more about what's tournament paintball all about, all right? And that's where the guests will come in to actually share, okay, about what their experience and also what they're doing. So if you guys are joining us this live, do comment or like and share, okay, like and share the post. Invite as many people that who wants to know to be aware about what's paintball all about in Singapore, okay. And do give us your love by maybe can send comments to give your support to your guests that will be actually sharing with us, okay, about paintball, about their paintball experience, okay. Okay, all right. So where if the guests are ready, okay, I think the guests are very excited to actually share their experience. So without further ado, I will just invite them one by one. Okay, first with me I have, okay, I think maybe see if you all can guess what they are. Okay, I have, okay, hold on. I have, okay, who's with me? Wayne.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hold on, let me just get them all in the scene. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, as I'm dabbling with this, okay, I'll get Wayne to share a bit about okay, Wayne, come let's share a bit about your intro about yourself first before I can get the rest in.
A bit about myself.
Yes.
How I started paintball, I think, is in 2010. It's a random, I think it's a random trip that we went to JB and play paintball. Then I think we have around 20 to 30 of us. I think Azza is also inside, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so we went there and we have our first paintball session. So after that, I think it's a no turning back route till now. Never stopped ever since. I think it's a crazy path, but yet enjoyable, definitely. So until today, so been playing, yeah, quite regularly, you will say. Hi, uncle.
Okay. My apologies. I'm just trying why I cannot get them all.
As long as I think I can still play. Yeah. So
okay, give me a moment. Let me just see why.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, let me just. Yes! Okay. Hold on. Okay, sorry guys. This is like my first time getting 4 guests in together. So I need to get Meg in also. Okay, I'm just going to hide one of me and get Meg in. Bismillah. Meg, I think you're coming in a while. Yay! Okay, we can see all 4 of us. Can all of you see all 4 of us? Okay, let's say hello everybody for watching. Okay, it's out again. Okay, it's the connection thing. So this might happen because again the connection it's not stable. I think everybody is now using the Wi-Fi, but it's okay. We will just check first as we're waiting for Mac to come in. Okay. So as you all know that yesterday was Yusman's birthday, especially in the paintball community. Let's all sing wish Yusman a happy birthday, shall we?
Eh.
Oh, sing birthday song now, Win. Okay,
Oh,
one,
okay.
two, three. Happy birthday. No lah, no lah. Okay. Okay, let's all wish Yusman a happy birthday. Okay? Yay. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we got the intro from Wayne. Okay, now Yusman, can you share a bit about your background?
Oh, when I started playing paintball, main mention Azhar, so it's my brother also who brought me
Yeah.
to paintball. Back then we had a tournament in I think East Coast, that East Coast Park. Yeah. So those were the days when I started playing paintball competitively. Um,
Mm,
so from there, it no wanted to know the sport because that was actually the tournament where I started to just got to know the sport. So I had made a lot of mistakes. I was trying to understand the rules, and eventually, joined a few tournaments with a few friends. Took up refereeing course to know the rules better, and then that's how the journey went on for my paintball journey for in terms of the
journey.
in terms of the competition. Yeah.
Nice. Can. Okay, Mac is still, I
Hey,
think,
hi
finding her way back.
Chris. Alamak, wild Chris wanna do wild Uncle Chris wanna do wild ball.
What? Wild boar?
Oh, this a birthday tradition.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, let's see what.
Uh,
Oh, Azhar is here. He's like, hello, brother Yusman.
hi
The
hi
brother
Azhar.
is
Hello
walking.
brother.
Okay, Azhar. Okay, I also know Azhar for very long. We were in the outdoor education industry. Okay, Win also, I knew Win from in the outdoors as well. Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
pretty much a lot of our those in the outdoor education scene, the closest to what we love,
yeah,
it's paintball lah.
Yep.
It's like
yep,
the
yep.
mud, the outdoors. I think that's why it really resonates best with us. Yeah, and Azhar also said hello Win to Win. Okay, and Uncle Ashraf did say hi Yusman, happy birthday. Like so, oh,
Hello.
yeah,
That's the one
like
he
what
said.
you were mentioning just now. Nice.
We all know that.
Yeah. Can. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay,
Uh,
it's really I think if not for the circuit breaker, I think Sundays will usually be where most of the tournament players will be grinding in the field. They're like
mm,
training now. I think even like for my husband, as you all know, he's Coach Zaid. He's also the manager for Alliance SG, which is Wayne will also share later about Alliance.
Yep.
I think now by then I think all the tournament players will be like at the field now, but because the circuit breaker again, right, the situation now, so we just need to. And I think the RD, as in the Red Dynasty and the Singapore Paintball Series, they are planning some things for the tournament paintball players in Singapore. I think just need to
Yep.
wait for the update what something is happening, yeah, for us lah. Right. And how about like for Wayne and Yusman, how has your situation been so far with circuit breaker and all that? Before we go into the topic, how has
Mm,
things for the both of you?
I think
Mm,
staying home is the new norm. I mean, my job
sure.
doesn't need me to stay indoor, but I think with this current circuit breaker, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're forced to stay indoor, like which is the last thing that I wanted. But I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
for the better good for everybody. That's why I think we have to just bear with it, because everybody is feeling the heat, not just like a particular group of people. It's everybody.
Yeah,
So
everybody.
you just have
Correct.
to, I think, just have to take it as it comes. Then we just need to be careful, be safe, and do what we can do to help one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Alah,
for
sorry
me.
lah, Uncle. Okay, so can you not mention that? Okay, sorry, I do mention again, okay? That we cannot go back to the field feeling sad. Okay, I think all those in the paper community
Actually,
all are
today
feeling
is
very
the
sad.
seven man. If I'm not wrong, today is the
Yeah,
7-man
7
SPS.
men
yeah.
SPS,
It's
right?
supposed to be
Correct,
today.
correct.
Yeah, it's supposed to be today.
Mm. Yeah, I think
But
a
we can
lot of
have a lot of 7 men on the Facebook Live lah.
correct. It's okay, guys. I think even our guests understand very well. Okay, the feeling. Okay, and Hafiza is back. Mac is back. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay,
Hey,
don't
Hi,
worry about it.
man.
sorry, I got dizzy
hello.
just now.
No problem.
Hi,
So we were
back.
just talking about how's the circuit breaker been for the three of us lah. Yeah. Isman, how about yourself?
Mm.
How's the circuit?
For,
How has things
similar,
been?
yeah, similar to Wayne. Getting used to this new norm lah. I mean, we are very outdoor people.
Yes.
If it's not work, it's gonna is the things that we do, the sports. I mean, paintball and stuff. So being home most of the time is a different lah. We are not that type of person lah. We very fidgety,
Mm-mm.
right? uh, so I think some of the guys are very involved in things like e-gaming and stuff, which is good. I
Mm-mm.
wish I'm in it, but I'm keeping myself busy with online work lah. I mean, teaching my students and doing some of the online work lah behind the scene for my business. Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
it's definitely a new norm lah. Very hard to stay in a room like this all the time. But once a while, I'll bring my wife out, go grocery. At one point in time, almost every day we went grocery at night lah, because I just needed to go out.
That's nice. Yeah, even for me,
Yeah,
I feel
uh,
you, Yusman.
yeah.
I think because we are running our own business, I mean, for you
Mm-hmm.
and me, it's all about really learning how else can we bring the business, because we cannot just stay there and wait for things to happen.
Correct.
I think for Win also, you are also with Camelot, right? And I think for
Mm.
Mac also, even though we are different, but somehow similar in how we want to upgrade ourselves to be able to still um, again lah, this is a challenge. So how do we face that? And I think being in the sport as well, it teaches us about that, how to
Mm-hmm.
move on, be resilient and still go on. And I think being sportsmen, we kind of have that had that in us. How else can we bring this kind of attitude or quality to our daily lives? So it's not just about the sport, but how else can it be brought to our daily lives? So even for us in Grundy, if you guys actually see that we are expanding our esports area. So that means even though we cannot go to the field, but we are bringing. That's why like Z is doing more on the esports side, bringing home team esports to the community, and we work with like we do like charity or outreach, for example Red Cross, get maybe organizations to sponsor to be able to bring their branding and also to support community, which we also other than the esports side, even for me I'm doing more on lives like that to bring like awareness about the pinball scene, and the next two lives I'll be sharing also about getting guests from the others, their their trainers, coaches in their relevant field, also facing challenges at their own, but how can we all come together and just support each other? So I think that support is very important, and that's the reason why I was extending this live to the three of you on behalf of the paintball community. And I would like to thank the three of you to actually be part of this live. Yeah,
But thank
I know
you,
that
thank
we
you
are
for
not used.
inviting us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Aifa.
most welcome, most welcome. Okay, Matt, your turn. Come share a bit about you, and also how are you during this circuit breaker? What's different for you? Mm. Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, yeah, can. Mm-mm.
Hey. Mhm.
Come, let's share your introduction. Mm-mm.
I currently like
Mm-hmm.
cooped up at home also. Same like anyone else. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Mm. Yes,
Can?
better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a bit
Yeah.
laggy,
So
but
we
it's
are all
okay.
cooped up at home, and then okay. Started playing paintball in 2012 with a group of friends, which was at. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, can just carry on. It's okay. It will be a bit
Sorry, you guys
laggy.
can hear me?
Can.
Yeah. So I played paintball in 2012, like end of 2012, with a group of friends at the previous SOP in Jurong. Yeah, so it was just a get together with some primary school friends, and then after that, I think we met Khalid, and then he asked us to form a team to play in the SPS. So we were actually very very new. So what started was Pay for Glory, which was the August team in Division 4. We played in Division 4 in SPS, and then after I think 2 years, yeah, being girls, we have like other things to move forward to, like marriage and all that. So we went our separate ways, but some of us are still playing, like me and Sheila from the group. But I think the most beautiful thing about playing paintball is that the friends that you make on the field, sometimes you choose them to be your family as well, because you see them quite often actually. So in a way, you spend time with them, and then they get to be your closest friends. So I'm actually very thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, agree. I definitely agree. And I think I
Mm.
remembered we actually met at the SOP field. Our very first tournament
Yeah,
I met you, your team kan, that was Femme Fatale Challenge. I could remember the time the infamous guys were in Singapore.
clinic. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they
that's right.
actually gave out our during the prize presentation. So it was like a collaboration thing. Then after
Mm,
that, we slowly shifted to RD at Water Tree Park.
yes,
Now
correct.
Ortho. Wow, really miss that feel lah. That was
The very smelly,
very
the very
smelly.
smelly feel.
Yeah, correct. Then after that, now RD is like, well, they have like, they are like, I think the biggest field in at Bukit Timah. And a lot of our
Yeah.
tournament players are really, it's having a fun time over there. And it's really to thank
Mm,
RD for having that space for us to actually, bring pinball to the next level. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I think
it's,
we're very lucky also because we got
yeah,
two turf fields to play on.
correct. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I think we are very lucky in Asia to have that to train and also to have tournaments there.
Mm.
True, true.
Mm,
Very, very lucky. And I kind of agree with what you mentioned about ladies. When we have commitments, it's very hard for us to actually pursue. Usually, because a lot in the August Paintball Club also the same thing. Like when we have children, when we are married, we tend to slow down a bit more. Yeah, but I think, but it still doesn't stop EGP to still create the awareness. Because sometimes you never know,
yeah.
they might just be new blood coming in to join back the
Mm.
team.
I think
Yeah,
it's quite important to have that support and also pave the way for younger players. Because sometimes, like, as a new player, when you come to the field, you are very lost. You don't know who to approach, and you don't know
yeah,
how to how to start the pinball journey or how to start a team. So you look up to these senior players, and then you ask around. And then you have to make yourself available to them as well, so that they can come to you and then be a friend. Just be a friend to them, and then guide them to wherever they want to achieve in their pinball journey.
yeah. That's very true, very true.
Mm.
Because I find that we cannot just depend on RD, right? All of us will be because we have our part to play as well to build the pinball community. So how can we create that awareness? I think that's
Mhm.
again back to the passion and how we
Yeah.
as again like a community lah.
Yeah.
But I think after years goes by, we're all like family already. So all of us like, okay,
Yeah.
like, come lah, let's see what we can do together. That's
Yeah.
the awesome part lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I also applaud that when I mean during through since 2011 when I see paintball, it was initially dominated by men. Then
Yeah.
eventually, women start to join the sport, which is actually some things that as a former educator, I feel that is the inclusivity of any sport. They should have both
Yep.
genders, and
Mm-mm.
that's something we
Yep.
with in schools. Even teachers are promoting not just in sports, but in group work, in everything that they do. Should have include
Yep.
equality. So to see that the two of you and many other ladies coming on board, trying the sport, braving the shots and all that. It's like we are not no different. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been
Yep.
shout out by Sheila before. Sorry, not Sheila, Meg. I've been shout out by Meg before. So it's like
Is it? I don't
I'm
remember.
amazed by the talent. So and I believe that the
Maybe it
community is
wasn't me.
strong and you all continue to do the good work. I mean there are many talents out there. It's just a matter of bringing them back in. Hopefully after the COVID has settled down. Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
yeah,
I was actually telling Sheila
uh,
the other time,
yeah.
probably like one Saturday in the month, we gather the ladies to just do a training, just the
Mm.
ladies lah, to groom the young blood, to see what they want to learn and what they want to achieve as well. But then after that, COVID happened, so yeah, it's in the
Mm,
shelf.
Mm.
Plans are on
mhm.
the shelf.
A
Mm.
lot, a lot, a lot of
But it's not over. It's not over.
it's not over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
just
over,
the
it's not
Yeah.
beginning.
over.
The
Correct,
beginning
correct.
actually,
Wow.
the beginning.
No, because I'm quite regularly with the ladies that is playing paintball nowadays. As in,
Mm-mm.
I'm helping them. Give some of
Mm,
my personal advice when they are training or in the tournament, help them out
Mm-mm.
because
Mm.
I really do agree with how Yusman was saying that how the sports has grown from a very male dominant sports to
Mm-mm.
change to there is even a female league on its own, and even all over the world they are doing
mm,
female World Cup and stuff like that, and we have people. We have our local players going all the way to Russia to play, and actually bringing
Mm.
the
yep.
ladies equality into the sports. I think and I wouldn't say that the standards are low. I totally disagree with the ladies
Mm.
tends to be a bit weaker. I
Mm.
don't think so actually because
Definitely not.
Mm.
yeah, Exactly. So it's not a easy like, oh, see ladies, okay, can. No, it doesn't work that way, especially nowadays lah. So a lot of things I think it is moving into equality to move the sports, because to include everybody in is one of the key thing to actually grow the sport bigger, especially when our sports is a little bit niche or unique and not that well known or common compared to like soccer, basketball,
Yeah.
badminton, table tennis. Yeah, so it's a little bit different, and you have certain age limit, and people will tends to have their perceived idea of what pinball is. For pinball, you shot already, you got blue black, you know, all those funny thinking. We do have that, but once they step into the sports, I think they're thinking that actually it's not that bad after all. Yeah,
Yeah, true, true,
so
true.
which is a good thing. I see a good future for pinball lah. But
Yeah.
it takes everybody to get involved in this and get this moving together lah.
Agree.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think all of us got a role to play. So we will definitely go into that as well. Like what are our roles? But for me, like I'm not into the competitive side as much, but I focus more on the community side. That's why I'm more active in the EGP area, bringing more blood into paintball itself, to really on that process, because sometimes it's like we have our strengths, we know what's our strengths, we know our focus, and how are we able, and somehow it's like me and my spouse, if both of us both tournament, seriously, again budget,
So lah,
so cannot
must
lah.
bring the kid to the tournament also already.
Tournament, so very headache. So I told him, never mind, it's okay. I will just focus on this. It's my strength. So you focus on whatever, because that's his strength. He's been sports for very long, and that's what he
Yeah.
and it's again, how are we able to leverage on our strengths to be able to do what we
Yep.
love in our own way. So we don't have to compare to each other. So even like our stamina, fitness level, right? Especially the topic for today, which is on that aspect. We talk about whether who's stronger, man or woman. So it's not about that. It's about really finding that understanding yourself as a person. Then how are you able to know your strengths and use that on the field. And after that, the kind of person that you are after you are out of the field. Yeah. So that's again how we are. It's a progress lah on understanding yourselves even. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for starting out with again that overview. And for those of you who just joined us, okay, we are just starting in a way that we are just talking about a bit about the introduction on paintball, okay, their introduction, and how each of us have a part to play to bring the sport to be more aware in the community. Yeah. So for Win, my next question for you, so how has paintball transformed you as a person?
Transform.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it transform, but I think it actually let me understand a lot more of myself. I think first thing is because pinball actually emphasize a lot about team play or teamwork or even team spirit. So whatever I'm doing at my work, it somehow is transformed in, I mean, it is being related in another venue. Because I think in terms of when we playing the game, for example, I think one one main thing is in the field, if you don't move, I mean in our sports, if you don't move, you tends to be the one that lose out. So it's the same thing in what is in our work. If we be stagnant and we don't move forward, we will never be able to take a new learning or a new result. So like I say, sometimes in the field, you need to do a crazy move, right, to achieve a different result. Sometimes in our life and sometimes in our work or even our daily life, right, you just need to do once a while. I'm not saying every day you must do crazy stuff. I mean, yeah, but you need to do it differently so that you can get a different result. I think that's one key point that I think this transformed me in terms of how I am now today. And also another point is actually to enable others to act. Because last time when I start off pinball, I want to be the limelight, or I want to be the one get all the point. But as years goes by, I think it's a little bit old already. As in, you get more mature, you tends to step back, you tends to think a little bit more. And actually, when you see certain people doing certain things, sometimes you know that you can do that particular move, or do that particular thing. But sometimes you would want to leave the stage to the younger ones, for the new ones to have the experience so that they can follow the legacy behind. So it's not about you anymore. It's about what is the end result, or what is the whole thing that you want to arrive at, and how long can you be in the limelight forever, right? Yeah. So I think these two main point is the key thing that transformed me to be a bit laid back, but yet giving a little bit more personal advice to the younger players. And the thing is that a lot of people when I start off is, oh, Win, you must do this, Win, you must do this, Win, you must do that. But I try to be that person, but somehow in the midst of the paintball, there is a period of time I a bit lost lah. Like who should I be or who do I want to be? But after that, I think and somehow I'm the kind of people that the more you ask me to do, right, the more I don't want to do. I a bit rebellious in a certain sense lah. So from then on, then I choose to be myself a little bit more. So a lot of things that if it doesn't make sense to me, I won't do it. I won't do things for the whatever reason it's supposed to be lah. So it tells me that everybody have your own unique point. You don't need to be that somebody. You must have your own flair. You must have your own style. You must have your own way. Of course, there is advice to how to do it better, but you must know what is the true objective of why you do certain things. If not, first thing, you don't enjoy the sport, then what's the point? Because you are trying to force yourself to be something else or someone else or to be somebody. Then it defeats the purpose of having paintball, because I play paintball because I want to have fun. I like the adrenaline, I like the people, I like the sweat, and all these things. If you start to overthink too much, it blurs off the objective of why you want to play paintball in the first place. So these are the two things that I think all these years that when I'm playing paintball, the transformation, and this can be putting back into the life and work, in terms of, because it's very related to me in terms of the sports and the work and the life, because it's kind of integrated all these three things now. So that is for my transformation, or relating back to my life, that have enabled me to do more things now. Because even in my work, last time I used to be a young instructor or young chap that want to chong everything, want to do everything, want to be the number one, want to be the fastest, want to be the most gung ho one. But as I think it's realization in life lah, and your age came along, then you realize that actually you don't need to be the one. You can enable somebody else, and you see the result. I think it's more fulfilling than you are the one doing it. Yeah, that's for my view on this paintball transformation for me. Yeah.
Well, a lot of good points that you shared there, and I think what you shared is very inspirational, because I think being trainers ourselves, because again our work requires that kind of reflection a lot, to reflect on what do we do when we do certain things, what's your purpose, what the growth, the
Yeah.
progress that we see, and I find I also relate a lot to what you shared. Thank you so much, Wayne, for
No
sharing the
problem.
insights. Yeah, so I think how about you, Sman and Hafiza? What are your thoughts about this topic? How has pinball transformed you? Yeah, do you guys want to
Mm,
add anything? Mm-mm.
okay, for me, back then, I was really trying to share and advocate outdoor education since 2008, 2009, and that was before I joined paintball. So when paintball was introduced to me, gives it it kind of like give me that perspective of like, uh of how to say, like you are, it's a like reflection for me. Like I can lead a team. I can learn how to help someone, empower someone to to work on their strengths, and how the team can come together to to take care of each other, because it's really a team sport. It's, I think we all understand, it's really a team, so it cannot be a one person conquer all lah. But there are people who can do that lah, which is amazing. but but along the way, how it I think my transformation in paintball is more towards passing down and sharing the younger ones, the new players, about what leadership is all about in the team. Giving them opportunities to take key roles, like even strategizing what's our next move. And we take a step, and I will take I mean, me and my or the senior players will take like a step back, and let people share. I think we give equal opportunity. We want, if we lose together. No, if it works, it works together. So I think something is some values we want to impart, and that's very useful in this sport, because but we have to put aside our we don't have we cannot have that too much competitiveness where we can actually let go and help our players to contribute. So eventually that's how PSP also come about lah, which you want me to share later also can. And that was another avenue where we want to share not just within the team players but also to the community opportunities to contribute, to be involved in charity work. So that's the transformation I went through to be more, to be more giving, to
Contribute back.
Yeah.
contribute back to society lah. And
Yeah.
it's not really an easy thing to think about at first because most sports are competitive in nature.
Yes.
But if you want to involve charity work, there has to be some sort of like careful messaging and
Yep.
careful planning. So I'm grateful for the support lah from you and everyone else to support my team, support the community, and things are happening now. Even at this moment, a team is going down to one of the orphanage in Indonesia, and I think they should have reached there about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So and it's representing the community. so
Yep. Yep.
I'm very happy for everyone. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if they have the thing, they can show us live streaming. They can see what's
yeah,
happening over there.
yeah.
It's okay,
Our
like
friend who's leading the project there is also a paintballer from Indonesia.
nice,
His
nice.
name's Aldo.
Aldo.
Yeah.
So Aldo, if you're watching this, you're doing a great job. Support from
Uh,
Singapore.
Izwan is doing the live feed, another paintballer.
Yeah, it's on,
Yeah,
So we'll
he's
see
in
the
our chat.
recordings later.
He's in
yeah.
our chat now.
Oh, okay. He's in our chat now.
Okay.
Hi, Izwan. Yeah, man, just mentioned you.
Yeah, Abang Wayne. Izwan. All the best, Izwan. We are supporting you guys from here. Thank you so much for representing the community. For this is such great work lah. Yeah. Thank you, Yusman, for sharing that. Ken. Okay. Hafizah, you want to add? If not, then we will move on. I think you will don't want to take too long also lah. Okay. Okay, Hafizah, next
Yeah,
question.
I think I'll just share one thing.
Sure.
Oh, okay, can.
Ken. Yes, before we assume.
I'll just say, yeah, because it's a like what Wayne mentioned, is a team sport, right? So it's actually just not about you anymore. And I think paintball has taught me to be able to receive feedback from a lot of people and to take in what is good and what is bad. And
Mm,
as a player, you can only improve if you listen to people.
mm,
And you have to put your ego aside, whether you made mistakes or not. You have to put your ego aside and listen to people so that you can actually improve and yeah, do your best for your team actually. Yeah, so I think that is one thing that paintball has taught me to be more patient, and also the ability to receive feedback from people so that we can work together as a team and achieve the team goals and objectives, especially in a tournament. Yeah.
Yep.
mm. And we know how is it like lah, the adrenaline. So if you guys want to try how is it the adrenaline, right? Okay, you should let us know. They can give it a shot. Because it's about how do you remain calm in that stress, that high stress
Yep.
situation. Because if you cannot calm yourself
Correct.
down, think your next move, you will really break down under the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we see a lot of people throwing chairs lah, throwing
Hmm.
their pots lah.
That one in overseas.
It's not Singapore still
way
okay,
too safe.
okay.
Yeah.
We are very our situation okay. We are able to respond better. Okay. All right. Next topic. Saya or Pia Soma who wants to share. What is the difference between recreational and tournament paintball in terms of physical demands and stamina? Because
Wow.
a lot of people when I tell them, okay, come and try tournament paintball. Got tournament paintball lah. I thought paintball only fun only.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like what Wayne said, it's actually a niche sport, it's a unique sport. So not many people know about it until you open your mouth and share about paintball and what you have been doing for paintball, and then they will understand what is paintball all about. Because actually our community is very small as compared to the other, like soccer, basketball, badminton, and all this, which is a very general sport and which has a very big following. Yeah. So I think every paintball player has a role to play when advocating the sport and also like sharing about the sport.
True. I agree very much. Because it's again back into us, okay? And for yourself, Hafiza, you started from
Yep.
recreational also, right? Then after that you went into tournament.
Yeah.
What made you decide to
Mm.
go for that tournament route? Oh.
I think I'm the sort of person who will try new things
Mm.
and YOLO lah. So you only live once. So why not? You know,
Wellness.
just try and see, yeah, and see how it goes. You know, if you like it, then you can continue. If not, then probably it's not for you.
Mm.
But experience is gained when you join tournament paintball. You meet a lot of other people. You see a lot of playing styles, and it's actually very dynamic.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think that is what keeps me going. You like to see, you know, how people play the layout, how they think, how they do game plans, and how they make certain moves on the field,
Mm.
not to replicate but to understand why it's being done,
Yeah.
you know, at certain points of the game. Yeah, I think it's a very dynamic sport that involves a lot of thinking and a lot of calculated risk as well.
Mm. Mm. Can. Thank you so much, Hafiza, for sharing. Okay, Wayne Yusman, anything to add on?
I think the recreational and paintball in terms of like the topic is physical demand, right? I think recreational is very lighthearted. It's just really for the fun of it, and play, or
Mm.
it just want to shoot people for the adrenaline part. But I think in terms of tournament, a lot more physical we have to be involved because it is not oh, I want to stop now, then I want to have break now, or everybody just take a 5 minute water break now, because it's a schedule, it's a tournament, and there is a prize or a name at the stake, because you are playing for something, you are fighting for something, right? Instead, so the competitiveness will start to come out. Then it definitely is a whole day affair, and in some of the tournament it is 2 days, 3 days. Some of them have morning all the way, you have to play until at night. So in terms of stamina, I think definitely it will be the tournament will require a lot more. I think in stamina, and why stamina in the game is also important, because like maybe in the different division or the different stage of the game, where you got so many things happening, and imagine you already been playing for the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Mm.
If your stamina is not able to keep up with the game, your your mind will start to never mind lah, I think I can, the heart already half gone already. So how do you want to win the game? So I think the mental and the stamina, both the mental and the stamina have to be in tune, when especially in terms of competitive pinball lah. And the higher division you are going, the higher grade that you're going, the game time gets longer, and it requires you to have longer stamina, have better stamina, and even higher physical ability to even last through the day or last through the game. Sometimes you can go until 7 games, with,
Yeah.
in between. It can go as high as 7 games, and you only have maybe a 1 minute, 1.5 minute of breaks in between, based on the settings of the game, that the particular tournament is going on. And we see players, have heat cramp, uh, and start to fall sick in between the game, and cramps here and there. It is all that, and weather come into play, definitely, especially in our local context, when the humidity is a little bit different compared in the other part of the country, other part of the world. So yeah, I think that is the main two things that is different, which is the of course the mentality of the game, the concept of the game. Yeah, that's for my side.
Yeah, when you mentioned heat cramps and all the cramp, right, reminds me of Izzat and Dr. Ed. Are they watching from Elite Sports Therapy, our favorite
Yes,
people?
I think Izzat is, yeah,
Izzat is
Izzat.
watching.
Hi. Yeah.
Izzat, hello Izzat.
Very important people.
Yes, very important people. Okay. Yusman, how about yourself? Wayne, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing your
Yeah.
perspective. Yeah,
Okay.
Yusman.
I mean, if in terms of let's say us as players right now, we see recreational is the demands and the expectation of the game is easier. I mean, the mental stress, I think it will be lesser. I think we'll kind of like, we'll take a back seat, and we'll want the rest to enjoy. I think I think we if we put ourselves when we started playing paintball as a recreational, I think the mental stress, I think, is very overwhelming. We don't have, we're not conditioned for it. So I want to share also, like, if a person starting to play recreational paintball compared to us playing competitive paintball, I think the mental the the strength, the mental physical demands and the mental resilience that we need is about the same. It's just that we build up along the way and we move on to tournament paintball. So for me, I had an experience of starting tournament paintball immediately. I was thrown into the ocean and it was overwhelming. So it's kind of like then it falls back on us as a person. Are we going to move on from here and learn the sport, or are we going to take the experience as a negative one and just don't want? I mean, paintball is very painful. We don't want to do this. So these are the common feedback a lot of people usually share when they don't even want to try and move on to learn the sport. But there are actually a lot of gains to it. Paintball actually trains, in terms of resilience, it trains all three domains: our physical tolerance of the sport itself, the emotional, and also as well as the mental resilience. So there's a lot of values we can learn from paintball. Is how we reflect on ourselves and reflect as a team. So the different in terms of physical demand, yeah, to a recreational player is also stressful. But
True.
it can be built up. It can build up with the right coaching, with the right support, and I think the mentality also need to be right also. Yeah. So and stamina, yeah, that is over time. I haven't played paintball for a long time, and my stamina has gone down. So it's a common dilemma we all have. We have to keep up to the pace. We have to train well for tournament. So this is part and parcel of improving and maintaining the pace of the sport itself. Yeah, that's my take of it, lah.
Can agree.
Yeah.
I really agree with you as well. And I think recreational, I think paintball, the first thing, like a lot of my site, when they ask, paint or not, you get blue black or not? That will be the common.
Yeah.
Just for the ladies, Hafiza, they were like, alamak, can the bruise, will it be there forever, that kind of thing. So these are some of the comments that we get like, alamak, if kena shot, and imagine they just hide behind the bunker, just hide behind the thing. Yeah. So this is again like, but it's just but the best is just to give it a shot and just try, and we'll see whether that you want to go on with that as well. Yeah. And especially for the ladies, right? I think again we are trying to see how to create that awareness that it's not that bad after all. But again, it depends. If you try, if it's not for you, then it's okay. If you don't really like it, then it's not for you. But more like that is to try, not to just assume and think that it's like that, but to just give it a shot and see. You might like it, that kind of thing. Yeah. Ken, thank you for sharing, three of you. Ken. So for the guys who just joined us, all right. We are actually halfway to the conversation already. So say hello everybody, and it's Shusman's birthday. So he was like, he wanted to sing a birthday song.
Oh yeah, yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yesterday. After that,
So over already.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're 1 year older and joining this live, to spend this Sunday with us, and it's really nice. Yeah, and thank you guys for joining. So do share the love, like, and share the this live, okay. And for those of you who just joined, okay, we are again halfway through the conversation. Okay, maybe before we go on with the topic, okay, I want to see what are some comments here that you guys have written. Okay, so Izwan actually mentioned, come try paintball, cross country sport. Yes, agree. Thank you, Izwan, for that shout out. Okay, then for Izwan, alamak Izwan, okay, I'm not gonna show this lah. Izwan can
Personal request,
personal request lah. Okay, but the one you settle your own. I'm not gonna here.
appointment.
Appointment by appointment, Izwan. Yeah. Okay, so next point that we're gonna share. Okay, share with us your preferred position in paintball. Okay, who wants to go first? Oh, so
Preferred, I think.
Okay, ladies go first.
Yeah.
ladies go first. Okay, Hafiza really go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
I started playing paintball. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to say, for
When I
those
started playing
who are
paintball,
watching, right, as Fiza is sharing, you all can also comment in the chat to share with us what's your favorite position that you're playing in paintball. Tournament players lah. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
okay. When I started playing paintball, I was not into going forward, being the charger and all this. I prefer to stay back because at the point of time we didn't have that set of skills to play. So what we wanted is just to survive and not get shot by anyone. So that
Mm.
was my plan when I started playing paintball. So when we entered competitive paintball, we had a few of us, and then we started to okay, which position you want to play, you know, which position you are more comfortable with. So I got stuck with the Dorito side. Yeah.
Mm.
So until now, I'm still at the Dorito side.
Mm.
I did play stick for a little bit, but less of it actually. So I prefer the Dorito side because I understand better when I play that position. And yeah, I feel that I can contribute more to the team when I play at the D side. Yeah.
Mm. And it's so again the positions for Pimbo, there's a few. So if you guys want to know more about what are the positions, come for our future clinics conducted by some of our tournament players, the teams join, so you know
Yep.
what Dorito, what Snake, right? And again the physical demands are different as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's true.
and thank you, Fiza. So for now, you focus a lot more on Dorito lah. I would say still Dorito, or still mix it
Yes.
all lah, Dorito and Snake. Mm.
More to Dorito side lah, actually.
Ah,
Mm.
nice, nice. Can
Yeah.
thank you, Fiza, for sharing. Okay, next, the guys, you can open your and share. Who's
Okay,
ready?
senior
Seniors,
first. Senior
senior.
player first.
Wow.
Okay, by age was senior.
Then cannot say age later.
Uh,
Later all exposed, no. Then later. No, I think for me when I start, okay, I think I start off the same thing as what Mac is doing. I always at the
Mm.
Dorito side. And back then I prefer a little bit more on Dorito side because one thing is you can see where you're shooting, or
Mm.
you can see most of the field, because if you divide the field
Mm.
for those that is not aware how this paintball layout, right? So typically on one side of the field, it's always you see this triangle, or like Nasi Lemak size, big huge Nasi Lemak Dorito, right? At one
Mm.
side of the
Macam.
field, that is parts, or anything that's triangle on one side, that is what we call the Dorito side. And there will be another side of the field, usually on the other side is actually have the long uh, beams. That is what we call the snake side. Typically people, why is it called snake? Because people have to crawl right on the floor. So when I started off, I think I'm more to the Dorito side. And yeah, I also don't know why I started off there because I cannot remember why. I think it's because
Kena
people
thrown.
already take the other side, so I have to take the other side, you see. But
Yes.
I think as the year move on, and I actually did explore to even go. There's one year that I so-called always going to the snake side, and then this recent year we have been moving around. So prefer side, I don't think I have any prefer as of this point of time. But back then I do prefer Dorito because you can see more, yeah, and you no need to. And one thing is I don't like to get myself on four. I like to minimum. I would say my usual is to squat, or even to, as long as I can still move. But if once I on my belly, right, I cannot move so efficiently like some of the other pinball players lah. So
Mm.
yeah, so now I think what I prefer to play is, I think, using the skill to put into the layouts, because every tournament the layout is different. So some of the time maybe my skill is better to do a Dorito play this time around, or maybe to play a back position, or maybe to play a snake position. It's really based on that particular layout to help the team to put my skill into the correct position. Because if I prefer to do this but I cannot perform my best in this particular layout, then it doesn't favor the team. Then there's no point for me to keep emphasizing something that I prefer. But I think it's like when I mentioned, it's the totality of the team skill putting all together. So yeah, I don't have any particular as of now actually. Yeah,
Can. It's
that's
very
about it.
interesting, because like just now also when you mentioned in the beginning, we will start from like as an individual what we like, but after that it progress to what the team, the team strength, the dynamics of the team,
And
right?
because I think when you for I think for newcomers it's easy to train in one particular field, but I think as the time go you will want to explore, because you have the basic skill already being established, your foundation is there. So you start to explore, then you become versatile in a certain manner. So even like that's what Mac is saying, that she prefer on the radio side, but if sometimes she also will go to the snake side. So sometimes it's really versatile and really based on that particular layout to play with lah. So
Mm,
yeah.
nice, Ken. Thank you for sharing, Wayne. Usman, anything to add on?
As for me, I started off as a back player
Mm-hmm.
on both either Dorito or the snake side. Yeah, so the role was more of a supportive role, but you also want to encourage the front chargers to move forward. So
Mm-hmm.
you're creating opportunities for them lah, and being the line of communication for the one in front, because it's very hard for a front player to to always keep turning to the back. So you're this very you're being trusted to keep them alive most of the time. But it evolved eventually when I started to go into electronic marker with grade 7, and that's where I'm grateful lah for Ben. I mean, if he's live, I'm not sure, to start training me towards staying in the middle. I don't know what but there's not much home players at the point of time, but I guess he wanted some players to focus on like being in a home player, and from that role, you get to understand the whole game in a way. What are the demands on the snake side? How are the demands on the Dorito? How you can support on both? But I also agree with Meg where she said that no, and we need to when we train, we need to be exposed to different positions. Yeah, we may have our own sweet spot that we want to play most of the time, but when we train, we have to try out the different positions, because that's make us a more appreciate. We appreciate our own players better. We will know how to communicate with them. So as a home player, it's very tough. I think most home players will understand what I'm trying to say. Where we are the line of communication. I think Izzat mentioned the same thing. Middle, yeah,
Yeah.
like we are no people think we are very laid back. That's what the perception of I mean those who just watch the sport, but those who have played the game tried as a home place with the most stressful position, because you know someone's death on the right side because of you not conveying the right message or
Mm.
conveying the right strategy. So your role needs to be it's a very important role lah. So that's why everybody has a very important part in the. It's a very good team sport where everybody has a designated role but a common objective. So
Yep.
at some
Nice. Okay, let's look at some of the comments left by some of our our friends. Okay,
Overseas kan?
Khalid actually says, I always champion. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Khalid
right,
Ref.
win.
Oh yeah.
Khalid ref. Always the champion, but always kena shot, right?
uh,
All the flying pins. Okay. Oh, and we have a friend
from
from
Medan. Yeah. Hi
Medan.
Chayo.
Hello, Chayo. Okay, hello from
Assalamualaikum bang.
North
he's
Sumatra.
he's one
Stay
of
safe.
PSP's
Loyal fans.
affiliates.
Okay.
He's running a charity organization there called Right Hand Foundation. Yeah, they do very meaningful projects. Currently they are building helping building homes, rebuilding homes from those dilapidated houses. We just recently during Ramadan period we help contribute a bit, because they had just finished renovating a whole school. They redo the flooring, they redid the roof, did new paints, new tables for the students. It's amazing what the things they're doing.
Wow.
So yeah, so welcome Chayo. Thanks for joining us.
Chayo for joining us. Yeah.
Amazing work from your team.
Right. Medan North Sumatra. So he says, stay safe, stay spreading care and love. Yes, from all of us to you as well, from
Yeah.
Singapore. Right. And Izzat, okay, who like playing apa ni?
In the middle.
Being in the middle of the line of communications for Dorito and Snake. Oh yes.
Ichon
Then you
also.
have Fachai say yes.
Yeah.
Fachai.
Yeah, it's very important in the communication like what Yusman mentioned. And that's why every time like I always hear a lot of the coaches who had to stand and shout at the field from outside. They their voice at the end of the tournaments every time. Yeah. And Kar says, hi guys. Hello Kalis. Yeah. Wins, one of the wins. The very
Extimate.
first
Rampage, right?
Rampage
Yeah.
onslaught,
Onslaught,
Rampage
yeah.
onslaught.
yeah, Rampage is
Legend.
of a lot of our friends in the outdoor
Yeah.
education side. Yeah, and there's Fat Jai, Umi and me, Umi Mimi in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, high five lah, Izzat and Fat Jai. Photo hug, ayo, Wayne so handsome, ayo.
The hair.
The hair.
Long
And
hair. Still must.
love you all. Love you all. Oh, we love you too. Thank
Thanks
you for
Chayo.
tuning in. Thank you. I think it's very interesting to actually see that not just for for the sports, or even like what Wayne said, the kind of what you call attention, but it's also about how we can give back to the community, which definitely
Yeah.
I'll get Yusman to share about that a bit more. Yeah,
Mm.
once like almost at the end of the thing of the life. Okay, all right. So moving on, let's look at our next topic. Okay, for the three of you guys, what are some of the paintball drills or workouts that you would usually do to improve your stamina and skills? Yeah, we can't really show it here lah, but you can maybe share a bit of that, the brief teaser, so that for those who first time got to know about paintball kan, yeah, they're somehow prepared lah. Yeah. So who wants to go first?
Maybe I can share one that I always like to have. I mean, maybe those who started competitive paintball. I think first thing is you have to grow with the gun. Okay, we call it a marker. Grow with it.
marker lah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a add-on equipment that, okay, example like running. You know, you don't need any equipment, but like badminton, you need to be part of your body parts so that you can use it more efficiently. So a lot of the time, people can't shoot properly, or can't shoot efficiently, or they are like something, you're feeling very awkward with the equipment that you are using. You won't be able to perform to the very best with the equipment that you have lah. So that's why I wouldn't say it's a drill, but I think it's a habit that you need to have one set of equipment that that you're going to be, as much as your budget if allows, you use the equipment. You can do all sorts of things. You can walk around with the gun, you walk around with the marker at the field, and just to feel the weight, and just to feel part of you, to be part of you, so that when you are in the tournament, when you're using the particular equipment, that is something that you are very familiar with. If not, you just to take another foreign object, you will feel very awkward. You won't be able to perform to the very best. So I think there is people doing different drills to ease up to this. So some of them will be at the bunker, doing snap shooting drill, but it's to just to grow with the particular equipment that you are using. Yeah. I mean, as much as some of us, because we are doing the kind of drill at home, even like we have paintballers that make PVC, make a marker using PVC pipe. Like we have a teacher and son, Mr. Zaki and Mr. Abuza. They are the few that use this to actually do some basic training at home, but it's to train their body muscle memory, so that when they are using the gun, it is very similar. So at the field, then they will use the gun to spend as much time as possible with the gun, so that it is not something very foreign. So these are, I think, is one key thing, because it is, and for us, we treasure the time, especially when we are at the field, because why, we are, like I say again, we are not a sport that we can bring our equipment back, especially the main equipment,
Yeah.
which is the marker, which is the main key thing. But for badminton player, you can take a badminton racket and you can wave it at home. Table tennis, you can do the same thing. But for us,
We
we,
cannot
we
bring
can't
back
we
our
can't
marker
we
back.
can't bring it back home, except like we have to make our own PVs, or even some of them use Nerf guns, for example. All sorts of ways to to copy or to simulate that same kind of movement that we have in terms of that lah. So that is something that I would recommend, especially the newer tournament players, or even those who are taking up, to get used to the equipment first. I think when you get used to the equipment, of course it must be proper, because if not, you're going to injure yourself. Then you can proceed on with the different other drills, because if your fundamental handling is not done properly, you will injure yourself and you will injure others. Then you might spoil the game itself. So main thing is to stay safe before you do anything else lah. So I think that will be the thing lor, for me, definitely.
No, that's a very good tip, because and I think that's why a lot of the tournament players, they will invest on their own markers.
Mm.
Yeah, especially again, they will look at the weight, they will look at the design, whether it's suitable for how,
Yeah.
whether they whether it's to their liking or not. So it's more on the functions of it as well. Yeah.
Mm.
And us paintballers, we love colors. So
Mm.
again, which colors suits with us, and that kind of thing. So that's again their own personal branding. So it's very unique, very interesting. We actually get to know about the paintball community, how we exchange pointers, and this is very good point, like what Wayne mentioned. Right. Thank you for sharing, Win. And again, for those who are watching, our tournament player friends, you can always key in as well. Okay, what are some of your drills that you like? You can put it in the comment section. We would love to know as well. Again, thank you for sharing, Win. Okay, you
No
start.
problem.
Hafiza, you start.
Okay, for I think there's like Wayne say lah, we need to be comfortable with our equipment. So is so when the most important equipment is definitely is our marker. So we don't call it gun in Singapore because we don't want to mistake it
Yeah, yeah,
as a firearm. So this for those who not sure what marker means. Some would think it's the pen marker.
yeah. G2.
So
What about marker?
so for we need to because most of us will end up being used to be one master. You know, we have a master hand.
Mm.
We're naturally born as we have a master hand, but most paintballers with lots of training, we end up have to be both handed. Yeah, because a particular when depends on which side of the field we are at or which particular bunker we are at. You know, we need to position we need to change position. So that is one of the drills that for me like, I enjoy doing because I never thought when I started playing paintball, I never thought I can do that. But it takes practice and constant drilling until it becomes a muscle memory. Yeah, so that is one of the things that as paintballers you can start off with what Wayne and shared also. Like, we get used to the marker first. Don't worry about all the other things, like sliding and
Yeah,
diving. Don't injure yourself unnecessarily because if you can't handle your own marker well, you can't position yourself well. Then you go too fast, then unnecessary injury happen, and that can be a downfall for your journey in paintball.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Agree on that.
yeah.
Yes. Just like in any other sports, there will be injury.
Mm.
But I think in paintball, not a lot lah. Because we are
Ah,
pretty much protected because we have our knee
mm,
guards, we have our
correct.
your arm,
Mm.
so it's fine actually. The arm sliders and stuff.
Very rare lah.
Very rare, very rare. So
Mm-mm.
it's a bit how we. It's back to the foundation, I guess. Like
Yeah.
what you guys mentioned also. The foundation is very important, and the workouts that like. And I really like when you shared about how Abu Zar, and Cikgu Zaki, okay,
Mm.
this father and son team
Combination.
combination, they come up
Yeah.
with these things. So it's how we are also be able to innovate. This
Yeah.
somehow we are in circuit breaker situation. How can we do it at home? Yeah, even for me and my kids, we will also do something like that. Like because we have nerve rivals at home, then we will just like shoot each other. And you know
Yeah.
lah, the father very particular. Before makan, must do push up first. Must do push up. Okay, then can eat lah. Nah, like that.
Yeah. Early conditioning, very good.
Can. Thanks, Miss Mine.
Yes, thank you.
Yourself. What's your workouts? But I do see you very actively doing some workouts. Also, you have your workout videos that you're doing at home. Yeah, it's a lot on strength and conditioning.
Yeah, correct. I agree with Wayne and Yusman saying that like on the field you need to start slow and then understand your body, understand your equipment before you actually do the proper drills,
Mhm.
and to be trained by people who know what they are doing is also actually quite important. But
Mm.
one thing that I really believe in is actually to improve your physical fitness as well, because it takes a lot, like Usman said, not just the physical part but also the mentality, the mental aspect
Mm.
that is required to do paintball. So for me myself, it's for the benefit of the team, it's also for my own benefit. I do a lot of physical training. So let's say when the gym was still open, I love the cable machines. So I assimilate breakout stance and then pull the cable machine sorry the cable to the center. When you break out, you have to point your barrel to the starting board, right? So when you gun up and then you do that kind of motion, yeah, those kind of things I do during my gym, as well as strength and conditioning lah. And because I also prefer to play the Dorito side, what I do is actually a lot of leg work and also core work. As you can see, like sometimes like on my Instagram, I will do like a lot of squats, a lot of planking, and all those things that keeps my body in shape and also helps me to perform my role better in the field. And also because I'm that vain, and also I'm that competitive. I want to be as good or even better than the male players out there, so that they will see us ladies as equals.
Yep.
It's not so much of segregating girls and guys, but the thing is, you all know, and we also, I mean, it's generally known that the males are actually faster than females. So what you can do as a female player is actually do all this behind the scenes work to
Right.
actually be a better player on the field. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, correct, correct. And I think the progress is superb. I think I remembered seeing you, you know, that macam like the transformation that you have gone through years, you know, and then you are in the Singapore Pinball Women's team as well. So that itself, it's really a very inspiring feat for a lot of lady players out there. Yeah, and thank you for being part of that. You know, like really inspiring a lot of us. Yeah. Thank you, Hafiza. Okay, so before we go into the next topic,
I
we have
think I have to thank
Mm,
Jane also.
yeah, yeah, Jane. Jane, are you watching? Busy maybe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
because I think she's also a very good role model to look up to.
Mm,
So, what she did for me when I first started is that I remember writing in a diary entry, saying that when I started paintball, I actually want to become like Jane and play alongside her. So the dream came true, and I'm actually very proud to represent the country as well as to play alongside Jane as well as my friends. In a bigger stage, at a bigger stage. So
Yep.
I'm thankful for that opportunity, and also thankful that I have people supporting me as well. Yeah.
yay! We will all be here to support you. And somehow
We support each other.
yeah, the community is very small, right? So
Mm.
so it's again who else but if not us. I think that's
Yeah.
most important. Okay, let's see some of the comments here. Okay, we have Winston. Oh, I think it's the previous one. Cannot answer. Every time I always throw everyone's leave to the team. Okay, this one is like I think the
Position.
which position.
Yeah.
Then we have
Mm.
Khalid. Miss all the paintballers. Stay safe and mask on. Yes, Coach Khalid. Okay, and your brother Azhar. Okay, favorite snap shooting and run and gun. Yes, this is the few of the common drills that we usually will do in the field. Alamak, Azmi ada je tau.
He got a lot more at the back. Yeah.
Cold ice poka honey tea and nasi sambal goreng. You always a joker in the team. Oh, and we have Bozo Low. Wayne drinking coffee from his
You know, my signature move
signature
every
move.
day, every day, every Sunday.
Azmi again. Why Wayne and Yusman never went to do?
Alamak.
Aduh. Okay, Nazak. Wah, showing love
Okay.
to the SPI Sawan. Wah. Can. Okay. And Azmi mentioned you guys wonder the caption is auto generated. Oh, alamak Azmi.
Asmi is
Ada
the
je the Joker.
very very unique thinking
Yes.
teammate in my team. So for those of you who don't know him, you can if you know him, then you know why is he like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you guys know that this Facebook Live, right? Whatever we are
Uh,
talking, somebody is like writing the caption. So I think that is what
His
correct.
Azmi is
No,
saying.
but you can
Yeah.
on and off the caption like
The
here.
captions, right? Correct.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
mm.
So I don't know how
So
to
you're saying somewhere, someone in India is typing.
okay lah. Add on a bit of the funny part. Okay. So last question. Okay, this is for general question lah. One memorable experience that you can share which changed your life or perspective in the pinball scene. Okay, it's a very big question.
One a bit hard
Mm.
really got a lot. I
That's
think
why
really
you must
really.
say
I tried to find one but then because why is it hard is
one.
because I think different phase you have something that trigger you to be that to have that kind of memory. I think even like every tournament is different because every tournament you have your laughter, you have your anger going on, you have all the funny thing. Even like especially you have teammate like Azmi lah. So he will do funny thing that make you remember the particular tournament. So yeah, I think it's quite a few lah for me itself lah, because at the start how I come into the sport is something that changed me. For example, like the just now when I start off, I mentioned that it's because of the group of friends that want to go play paintball, and after playing one time, we straight away say we want to form a team and we want to go for a tournament in Kedah. and it was so crazy going on and it leads on today lah. So there is a lot of different experience that I think I have, but I think the most recent one that I can remember that struck me the most actually is last year, the World Paintball Championship in Pattaya. I think and there is one particular setting that we are that I remember the most actually is playing against the national team in against Thailand. So I think for those of us who is playing paintball for quite some time, you will know that uh, Thailand is known for their skills and their speed and their shooting. So we managed to pull a win because it's always a win more. So we managed to pull a win. Then after eventually it become a draw, and I think that is the one of the highlights that in all our national games throughout all these years, and actually playing against a so-called almost a pro team, and managed to pull some points from them. Actually, is very heartening to us lah. That actually, hey, we are not that bad in terms of national pinball. And I think last year, this SPNT, or even we call it the Singapore Select, that Peter and a few of the senior pinballers in the community is building up, and with all the trainings and even the prep talk just right before the 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 particular Thailand game, I think it helped to really. You thought you can never do that, but actually you eventually you can do that. That is one key that I think memory that I can think of lah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think again, if local competing local is another experience. But if you go overseas, then that's where it's like really competing with against the best of the best at national level. And I think in Singapore also our national level competition is definitely the Singapore Paintball Series, which will usually happen here, and that's also where we are like we will also invite all the like tournament players all over the world lah, whoever that can actually attend the which is hosted by SPS, the Red Dynasty Paintball Park site. Yeah, so I think that's also another eye opener as well for a lot of us in the tournament scene. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Win. I think that's definitely a very inspiring. I would say like you mentioned, there's a lot, but I think this is definitely one that you will definitely remember. Yeah, yourself, Yusman, Hafiza.
For
Sure, Yusman, go
myself,
ahead.
sorry. For myself,
That's okay.
somewhere in 2015, after actively playing for about 4 years plus, I came in. I mean, I don't want to mention too much about it, but I had faced some health problems, so I had to stop playing paintball. So actually, that lockdown in a way, that 2 months, 3 months of not playing paintball, it kind of like got me thinking, if what will make me come back to play paintball. And during those 2 months, I was involved with some friends, to do some charity work and all that. And then it came to me, maybe I can bring this into the community, not just as an ad hoc, but with everybody, endorsing it, supporting it, and then that what brought it back. So PSP actually, when I came back to paintball scene, is because of those memories I had while I was not playing paintball. So coming back to paintball, and that changed my life. My direction was towards trying to promote community work, charity work, because I feel that if a dollar that we spend can feed someone on the street, it will be amazing. So, and it evolved from there. We not only involved in just charity work, we also help paintballers who were having need medical help, in terms of the charges that need to pay. Someone pass away, a family member pass away in the community. It evolved to a lot of things that we could do as a community, because paintball family is very small. Someone will know someone. It's not in Singapore, it's in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and that drive my motivation to keep this going for the team. And PSP Aisawan came around from our trip to Kelantan, one of the trips. We had played of a tournament there. and Mr. Acha called me up, and we had a chat, and he wanted to be involved. So we were called PSP Temasek. Temasek is the old name of Singapore.
Yeah.
So and we evolved to support, because he wanted to support us in other ways. So we changed the name, and the objective still the same. PSP Aisawan is a team where we welcome anyone, because we play for a reason. Win or lose, the guys are so kind-hearted to just pump in some money to help a particular project, to let it run, and then we will get support from our family members and other people. So, and that's something that changed my life and changed the perspective of what I feel, that kept me going in this paintball scene. Yeah, and through PSP, I think I never had a chance to play the highest division open, even though it was just for a season, but it was an experience. So I appreciate people like Wayne and Mac still hanging, still toughening up in in that division. It's not easy, but it's really fulfilling lah, to get to experience every part of it. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Yusman, for sharing that. Ken, thank you. Hafiza,
Yeah.
your turn. Before I go
I
into
think
my specific question for the three of them.
Alamak.
The last three
Sama.
questions.
Alamak.
Oh, the final
Stress really.
questions. Just really. Lela.
I think for me, one of the most more memorable experience is that for all the opportunities that we get to go overseas to play, we get to meet a lot of new play. I mean, a lot of overseas players, and somehow or rather, paintball brings us together. So I think that is the beauty of paintball, and that is the very sweet memories made like anywhere you go. So be it Malaysia, be it Indonesia, be it I don't know, overseas like Australia. Also, when you go there for Super Sevens, and for us, the SPWT, when we went to Moscow twice, as well as Amsterdam when we played last year, I think it was really an eye opener, because you get to see the pro players, you get to
Mm.
see all the other lady players
Yep.
who you idolize from far, but then when you get to see them face to face, they are actually just normal human beings, and they are actually
Yep.
very nice people. So I think that is really something to look forward to when you go for tournaments.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
Just nicely, it's leading on to my next question. For
Actually,
Hafiza.
I got one more.
Yes,
I got
yes.
one more to share
Uh,
since I got a few of them. I think
Can.
since when Mac was talking about this, actually, then I got one memory that I want to share. It's actually the Langkawi that we went for. I think it's the last Langkawi WCA that actually
mm,
Team Singapore, the table, right? As in, because we are breaking into groups, right? So our group itself, we happen to meet, Team USA. So
Wow.
Team USA is like whatever you see in
pro
the
players.
professional paintball, right? You
Yes, yes.
apparently seeing them live in front,
Yeah.
standing in front of you, and then
Wow.
we play against France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we being new to these national settings, right? Then yeah, then there's the feeling is like, well, yes, we are meeting. These people, is it real one or not? Like it's standing right in front of you.
Mm.
Like you have Damian Ryan, you have
Correct.
Ryan Greenspan, and all those pro players in the US coming down to play, and it actually is now at the opposite field. So I think that is one crazy memories that I can think of lah. And of course, we have our own teammates making a joke just right before the start of the tournament lah. As in just right in front, just before that particular game, where everybody is you so hype up. Then there's a person that asks you this random name joke lah, that it just keep me thinking until this very point of time lah. Which is Marcus lah. Marcus, you will know what is the joke. So yeah. So I just want
It's
to
an
share.
inside joke, is it?
Actually, it's not an inside joke. Okay. So when we are standing at the outside of the so-called the game area, right? Then we are standing, we're trying to watch the game, all very serious, all game face. You know the game face on, right?
Okay, face.
The game face. Then he was saying, "Hey, bro, you know uh, you know of this thing?" No? Then I like, what? Then everybody very serious, ma. He say, "You know you are like the egg in my prata." Then I was like, "Huh? What egg? What prata?" Because without you, I kosong.
Oh,
Wah, pick up
Like,
lines ya.
uh,
Caca already. Caca.
romance, romance.
Cia cia cia.
Then
Romance.
I was just trying to make this, you know, that everybody just go with the lighthearted. But I think it's just the first thing that this thing stuck with me for from then to now. I can remember that face that I give, and
Mm.
it's like, hey, I don't know how to describe that feeling. I don't know what to scold him, or I don't want. But that is that
Mm.
is one memory that I can think of like that. Like you see, like why he commented like 1 point from France. Yeah. So
Mm.
Mm,
Wow.
so that is the one of the good memories and funny memories that I think, yeah, I will remember for very very long.
You're the egg in my prata.
Yeah.
That's true, it's true.
Nice.
Because got no egg become kosong lah. Prata
Yeah.
kosong. Oh, all
smooth
the
ah.
comments, all the love going around. I think that's the beautiful thing because you know
Yeah.
it's that family, you know the experience that you have, you go through together as a team. That's
Yep.
really nice lah. And thank you for sharing, Win.
No
Yeah, the
problem.
personal sharing.
A lot more other funny trip lah, but yeah, the people that one is a bit overrated. I mean,
Already.
PG, right? It going to the next level already. So yeah, it's not inside to cannot.
I'm 21 already.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can. Right. So I think again leading on, so we have already completed most of the questions that is generally for the three of them. So now I would like to go like one specific question for the three of you, because as you all know that other than so Hafiza, okay, I would like to direct this first one to Hafiza first. Okay, being in the Singapore Paintball Women's team.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let
Mhm.
me just speed up. Salah. Never mind, never that one. Okay, so being in the SPWT, share your experience being
Mhm.
in the Singapore Paintball Women's team and any advice for ladies out there who decides to take that route. Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, I think you shared a bit just now.
experience.
I think you shared a bit just now about the
Yeah.
Moscow one, kan? Mm-mm. So
Mm.
any memorable ones that you can remember during your experience there, and if any ladies want to try going for SPWT, what's your advice for them?
Okay, I'll just share like generally what happens when you go for overseas tournament.
Mm.
So my experience in SPWT is that when you go overseas, when you go anywhere actually, it's an eye opener because paintball in Asia is still actually considered quite small. And then as compared to other parts of the world like Europe, like Russia and US. So when you go there, the level of paintball is much higher. So you are
Mm.
actually humbled by by their style of play and a lot of other things. So you are actually forced to set your mentality when you are there, and also to remember what is your objective of going there as well. So it's just not about you anymore. It's about the team. It's about the team objectives, and
Yep.
it's also about your teammates. And also very important is to listen to your coach because he will know, he will understand, and he will actually also scout like how the other teams play and how we using our skills to come back, or also to make a good gameplay against the other team. So I think the ability to listen and, like I said, receive feedback from others is very important for you to grow as an individual player. Yeah, and also because level of paintball is much higher overseas, you also can learn a lot from them.
Mm.
Mm. So you think that okay, girls are actually very slow, they don't want to make a move and all this. But when you go Russia, when you go and see the US teams, when you go and see the French team, the German teams, they're wow, they are really something. Yeah. So just I mean, don't have that kind of thinking that girls are just playing it for fun, for to be vain, to just be glamour and all this. But it's actually not. It's actually a sport that all of us who are in this take it very seriously. Yeah, and
Yeah.
also because sorry.
No, just clapping for you. Just clapping for
Oh,
you. Carry on, carry on.
and also because you are representing the country, there is
Mm.
also a very big sense of pride and achievement when you are out there
Mm. True.
donning the jersey, as well as representing not only yourself, not only your team, but your country and also Asia to other parts of the world.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I think that is the responsibility that you bring as a player when you go overseas, when you represent the nation for such games. And yeah, of course, people want. I mean, you want people to have a good impression of Singapore players and all like Asia players as well. So I think that responsibility is very important for you to take into consideration when you play in SPWT or the even the men's team, because
Mm.
it's not just playing paintball, but also portraying your country, portraying Asia as well, to the other parts of the players from the other parts of the world.
Wow, nicely said, Afiza. There was like a moment where you
Yeah.
mentioned something that I like naik bulu roma sikit, the bulu roma.
Oh really?
Mhm.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, right?
Goosebumps.
Yeah, because it's like representing competitively ladies all over Asia lagi. Wow. And I'm really proud of you for
Yeah,
that.
even though it's not like official, like like a Sea Games or the Olympics or something like that, but for us, the people players, World Cup is something, and like WCA is something. There's a lot of platforms that we can show our abilities, and it's actually up to us how do we have to portray ourselves to the community, to other people from other countries. So I
Yeah.
think it's actually our own individual responsibility to do that.
Mhm.
And yeah, my advice to the younger players, the lady players, don't be shy. Don't be shy to come up to the senior players to ask for help, to ask for advice.
Mhm.
And if you really want to be at that level to represent the country and also to do well in your paintball journey, don't be afraid. Ask around, because I think if you don't ask, you won't know what you're doing wrong, and you won't be able to grow as a player as well. So if you don't
Mhm.
receive feedback, you won't know what you're doing is either right or wrong. So I think just open your mouth, because I don't think we people, like, when you come to us, hey, we will eat you up. No, they're not that kind of people. So we are actually very friendly players. Just come up to us and then ask, and yeah, we will gladly guide, give pointers. So um, the responsibility is actually to the individual player. What do you want to contribute to the team, and how do you want to contribute to the team? So I
Yeah.
think that mentality has to be put in place first before your intention to join the Singapore Paintball Women's team. Yeah,
Yes.
anything else is actually teachable.
Mm.
You can learn, you can do drills, you can you can do a lot of things, but you have to have that mindset that you are representing your team, your country, yeah, as well as yourself to other people. So
Mm.
that is the responsibility you have as a individual player.
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for lady players out there, just for your information, yeah, anything you want to ask, you can look for the Facebook page or Instagram August Paintball. Okay, August Paintball, or you can even I think we do have the Singapore Paintball Women's Team Facebook page. That's where
Yeah.
we have the all ladies team Radical Pixies there. So we do have a specific all ladies tournament team. Okay, and some of the ladies even have their own individual teams as well. So like for Hafiza, she's in Revivers, but sometimes we do guest for other teams as well. So this is again like getting used to the how the culture in the pinball scene works lah. The lingo, the system. Again, it's really fun. I think we are all very nice people. We won't eat you up, so you can always ask us how to be part of it. They will be more than glad to share how you can be part of the
Yeah.
community. Yeah. Thank you, Afiza,
Yeah.
for that finale question. I think that is
No
that
problem.
is inspiring to represent all lady players all over the world in Asia, or even for even for Singapore as well. Thank you so much for that. Okay, my next question
Thank you.
is for Yusman. Okay, because just now Yusman also shared about your initiatives and how you started PSP and all that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
why did you decide to explore apa ni? Sorry. Can you share with us what makes you decide to start the initiative, right? How it has progressed since the year it started, and if others are keen, how can they participate? So we
Oh,
go
okay.
with the first question
Three
first.
three parts.
Parts, okay. So the
Okay.
first one, okay,
Okay.
why did you start? Okay, your real intention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how it progressed since the year it started, and if we are keen to participate, how can we do that?
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. How it how PSP started to
Sure.
what it is now. Initially, it started as a combined an opportunity for different players to come together to represent a team. So it's like, example, having a different guest players coming together, and we decided if there's no name, so we create. So there's a PSP there, a team to represent. So the word project stealth protocol. Stealth was my was my
Mm,
nickname. So I was trying to figure out what would sound nice, PSP or PS. So protocol sounds very serious, but it's like the messaging from protocol was more of we want to send, we want to deliver the right way, do the right things. Uh, then project basically from the various projects that not initiated by me, but it's by the community. So some of them actually come approach me and some of my friends like, oh, we want to, can we do this project? Can we run this project? Can we help this family? Can we help that family? So the ideas came together, and together at the point of time with the members, we decided, let's do this. Uh, let's do this with some structure, but we won't be so structured because eventually we don't know what else can be extended from there. So over the years, we cooperated with different field operators, tournament organizers. We did charity auctions. Some of you witnessed it yourself. I think some of you even participated, and we auctioned autograph jerseys by players from US, and this kept the paintball community very excited. We are doing something more than just playing tournament, and our money is actually going to good for a good cause. So I hope that answers the direction where we were going to lah. But how it moved on, I would like to thank actually not it's actually the collective ideas and contribution from a lot of people behind the scene. I think now example the one in Medan happen. I'm sorry, in Pekanbaru happening right now. It was a joint effort from our friend Aldo in Pekanbaru with his group of volunteers, as well as players like Izwan, Khalid, Rohaizat from then Fatlon. And then we have recently in Ramadan we had the whole team actually came together to initiate going to visit the homes to give some food packs. uh, so these are I just provide the platform. That's all. So and do the collaborative, do the linking for everyone. And if there's a need for them to lead, I mean, if I see opportunity for them to lead, they're doing it. So it's something and something for open to everyone. I mean, if let's say anyone has a very strong uh, plan to help a particular us to involve in a particular project, and they need someone to give support and funding. I mean, we will through our context, we will try our best to build up that funding for them, or that manpower support. Yeah, so that is the um, structure of PSP. It's a community based how you say, community based
Initiative.
initiative. It's not because of one person or a few person. It's everybody involved, and we are grateful that along the years, by traveling overseas, we built a lot of support from overseas partners. We saw a lot of opportunities in Indonesia, where we can actually, our money's worth can actually help people rebuild homes, feed people for months. And back then when we played in Pekanbaru 4 years back, which is now we're following up today, that the donation that we're given, according to the center manager there, he mentioned that our donation provided at least 4 5 months of utility coverage for the home. So that's how powerful our currency is lah. When I mean, not neglecting the support that we can do also locally, but in Indonesia, in Thailand, we had a team playing in Thailand. That time was captained by, I think, was Uncle. Yeah, Uncle
Ashraf.
Izzat, Shazwan. Yeah, Uncle Ashraf. Yeah, in Phuket. So they donated stationeries for a school. So these are the the little things that we can do to make even overseas trip meaningful for the players. Yeah, we don't have to do too much, but we come back with a sense of fulfillment. That is the that was what I'm trying to share with those involved in with some of our projects. Yeah. So feel free no contact any of the members, like Fatlon, like Rohaizat. They will we will receive your ideas and we will support you as much as we can. I mean, we don't have much funding because we are very project based, ad hoc based at the point of time, but we hope to to create some form of continuity from now, where we want to continue helping not only during paintball tournaments, but anytime. It can be done anytime when there's a need to. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Yusman,
uh,
for that sharing. I think that's where a lot of us in the community we have a better idea about what's PSP punya direction and how we can also support. I think it's really awesome what you're doing, and I think I will also
no,
want to
no,
be part of
it's
it.
the whole team. It's the whole team. It's everyone.
Everybody,
Everyone here also.
everybody for
You know,
for this really great initiative, and some more during circuit breaker, which is where
yeah,
a lot more people we I think the extended help is definitely very we need as much as we can lah, that support.
yeah.
Thank you,
Maybe
thank
can
you.
I do a little
Yes, please. Shout out.
request? Okay.
Can go.
Recently, we during the Ramadan, we had some identified homes that we were helping. But we did the first phase because it's a circuit breaker period. We cannot go in the home,
Mm-mm.
so we actually hand over food packs. But we are keeping in touch with the various members are keeping tabs of the family. So our next phase, we actually going in to look into their family needs. It could be in a form of maybe a family with children that may need a new laptop,
Mm-mm.
or a family that may need some furnitures,
Mm-mm.
or maybe continuous food supply. So that will be the next phase that of help that we are hoping to kickstart um, for the next after the circuit breakers is has watered down. So same thing like Pekanbaru, that's happened today. That was only stage one, and we are moving on to help them in areas of like doing a mini renovation for their nursery maybe. So we're waiting for more information because our volunteers over there were not allowed to go in also. So they are also some sort like they are not under lockdown, but they have also strict restrictions like us.
Mm-mm.
So they are in communication with the management and the staff. So we want to go to phase two, where we're gonna help to do some mini renovations, new paint, maybe new toys and educational things for the kids. That will be later on.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So watch out for our projects lah. So whenever it's posted, get yourself involved. I think or even share the initiative, and that will really mean a lot for the team. Uh,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
And this information can be you can get it from PSP page, the Facebook
Yes.
page, your Instagram. Can
Mm.
Thank you so much, Usman. I think that will be,
Thank you, Aifa.
and for
Yeah.
you guys to get the information from there. I think Grandy also would love to extend the support. So we also have a plan,
Uh,
inshallah. Yay.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Okay. And lastly, our senior player, J, Mr.
Abang.
Yeah,
Man of the
not
house.
senior,
Yeah.
not senior.
And also my son,
Yeah.
my son's BFF.
Ah.
Me Alliance, my the support that the Alliance team has really given to when when Z decided to start the team, right, and how it has
Yeah.
progressed and all that. I think it wouldn't have been, we cannot do it without the team lah. I think
Yeah.
we started and now it's back to that the same as in
Mm.
the legendary players of Alliance J.
Not legendary,
Legendary,
the one that cannot go away one. Have to
cannot go
stay.
away one. I must take that.
Must stick here one. That kind of people.
Take that one, yeah. I think even then, like to see that the progress. I myself, I also was inspired with the team, yeah. And also Wayne himself, also he's an SPS referee, so the Singapore Paintball Series referee. So maybe for Wayne, on behalf of the referees as well,
Hmm.
maybe you can just share. Okay, why did you decide to explore being an SPS referee?
Mm-hmm,
Is
mm-hmm.
it physically demanding if someone decides to take that route?
I think I think we talk about how I start off want to be a SPS referee. I think after playing in the game for like I think less than a year, then you will try different things to understand the game better. Whether is it even testing marker. So you are trying to see how can you understand the game in all angles. So then it just happened that uh, uh, a post from the SPS is saying that there is a referee course going on. There like I go on the online, I click the calendar, I check on the calendar, the date, or the date I'm free, then I just sign up for the date itself. So the mentality is to understand the game better. But of course, it is the availability that I have. Lah. So, and it's just going for something that I don't know what I signed up for, but it just want to know more about the game in all the different manner. Lah. So then when I go into the game, when I go into the refereeing course itself, I think it enable us as a player, especially as a player, if you go into refereeing, right, you will understand a lot about anger, about how do you see certain things at different angle itself. Of course, it's very different from a player point of view, but you will see more. And especially, and you also understand the rule of the game a lot more better because I think in the rule book is like there's a lot of clause and you know what can be done, what cannot be done, what is considered a penalty, what is considered an elimination, and all the rules and regulations in the game. I think being a referee, you will understand a bit more, and actually in the game, it will help you to know that actually ref can make this call, so you don't do this kind of thing, that kind of mentality. And it becomes better for me as a player because I know how the referee will work in a certain manner so that I know how can I not violating any rule but yet still win the game. Because sometimes especially for new players, like sometimes it's a natural reaction. For example, a pin shot on your hand and you just it's very typical when you got dirt on your body, you will just wipe. But in
Yeah.
the game of pinball, it is considered a no. Then you will get a penalty for it. But you have to, you see, so some of the time is you have to experience it, then you will know it. But for me, I think thankfully for the course, then I'm able to know a little bit more about the rule. So when I'm dealing with the younger, I mean when I'm talking with the younger players in the field, I'm able to share a little bit more. Actually, you don't do this. Actually, you will know you can get a penalty uh, for that per se. So that is how I what my objective of joining the SPS refereeing lah. Of course, there is another level of the SPS refereeing going on, which is they call it the Asia ref. Uh, that one is actually another so-called higher tier of I don't know whether is it correct to say it's higher tier that you can actually ref in the other region of Southeast Asia. That's why this body is being formed. But for me, I think having the basic understanding in our local context is good enough for me as a player because I take playing as more of the priority for me than refereeing, of course. But I appreciate the work that the referees are doing in the field. Yeah. So, and I think the prelude of being a referee is you must understand the sport. You must join the community. You cannot be, suddenly randomly I want to become a pinball referee. It, you don't have the interest, it doesn't go that way because there's a lot of things that you need to deal with as a referee. Uh, so you see, like players, we can have our breaks and wait for our game to schedule, then we can go in. But for refereeing, is when the day start
Yeah.
all the way until the day end. They have breaks in
Right.
between lah.
Yeah.
But it can be a whole day affair, and whether is it sun, rain, whatever kind of weather, as long as the game is still going on, you need to be inside physically. That's number one. Then uh, you need to stay alert to make the most fair call in the game because it's so fast paced. Ball are flying everywhere, and people are moving everywhere. Your alertness have to be very high, especially in the game because one one wrong call or one mistake that as a ref I made, I can change the whole course of the game, and it can change somebody's title, championship title can be in the on stake. You see,
On stick.
so
Yes. Yes.
so it's a lot of stress physically, mentally, and externally is the ref have to deal with. So, and I do want to shout out to the SPS referee, especially like the especially the senior, even the younger one that want to jump on the wagon because that kind of stress that they are going through physically and even mentally. Sometimes it's also I would say the external stress. Very whether is it verbally from the external itself. Sometimes they are being, especially the newer one, they have this kind of phobia that, am I making the right call or am I making the wrong call? Then when they are hesitating, they delay the call and change the course. So there's a dilemma whether to make that call or not, or did I make this call correctly or not. So there's a lot of stress going on for them. So I would say it is, yes, it's physically definitely because the amount of hours that you need to be in the game. But I think another factor is the mental stress that they are facing, especially when you are new in the refereeing line, because some of the referee that we have in local or even in all over or maybe in the Southeast Asia, they have a basic understanding, but they choose to be a referee, so they have lesser playing opportunity than the rest. So sometimes when they go in and they ref at the higher division games, right? When the players maybe know a little bit more than them and they give that kind of, hey, why are you doing this? I know this is not a very good, it's a lot of things, a lot of stress going on for them per se. So yes, it is very physical, demanding, and we have ref, that is being after whole day of maybe one whole day of refereeing, the another day they need to ref again.
Yeah.
So the stress level and the demands that their job requires them, right, is crazy. It's really crazy. So yeah, it is very physical compared to a player. Yeah, because player, there's a sub, and anytime there is a break in between. But for
Yeah.
refereeing, it they do have breaks, they do have sub, but you can't sub every 5 minutes. You see,
Yes,
so
yes.
so so that is one key difference from a player to a referee, and you need to have the passion
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
refereeing is a very I don't know. To me, it's a very
It's an art.
holy,
It's an
It's
art.
an art,
it's very holy, very stress, but yet can be enjoyable. Because holy, why? Because any call you make, you are like God now. I can change the game.
the
Mm.
decision
Of
maker.
course, then it really come to the integrity of the particular person. Yeah. So and maybe to sum it up as a referee, I think even for new or old, first thing is, what is the purpose of you inside the field? If you are a referee, then do as a referee. If you are a player, be a player. Don't mix it too much. Don't a referee behaving like a player and a player behaving like a referee. Both have their struggle. Both have their own things that they need to manage at their own zone. So I think that is one key thing that everybody must understand: what is the objective, being a referee or being a player. Then if you now I'm moving into the player itself is sorry, being a referee. I think being a referee, especially for new ref, and I always tell the new ref that if you're not sure, if you think you think you saw the hit, you go in and check. Because sometimes it's so fast, right? Then you thought it break, but actually it didn't break. But you thought you saw it, then you just give a call. It might change the whole entire game. Not just to the younger ones. I think it applies to all the referees, like, including, let's say I'm refereeing or whatever. It is, if I'm not sure and I have the word thing and I cannot confirm that it's a shot, I will go in and check. And that is something that I think this is what I always tell the ref that I always interacted with, whether is it younger one or whether it's in the mid of the game, that I got shot out. But actually, maybe I didn't get shot out. Maybe it's just a shot somewhere else. Maybe I didn't even see. So sometimes I will interact with the senior or even the head ref, saying that, hey, maybe you should get the younger one to come in and check physically. If you don't, it is to be fair to the players. That is standing as a player point of view, lah. But yet as a player, as a referee point of view, because I understand both sides. So sometimes you will see me, I mean, some of the players, yeah, if you see me in the game, I will go in with a mask and I will talk with the head ref, because I feel that certain call is not necessary. Certain call is necessary. Yeah, and certain calls is good. Certain call is not so good because of what I understand. So it's not because I referee, I trying to blur the line. I want to change the course of the game. It's not, because to me, paintball, it should be as fair as possible, and must be fun for people to enjoy. If it's not, if they start this line to be blur, right, then it will be quite difficult and very hard to maintain the balance being a ref and balance being a player. Yeah, that is my and yeah. the shout out to all the ref lah. Really tough job for them.
Yeah.
Especially if the weather is a bit crazy, they will turn crazy also.
Yes. Yes. And I think Yusman also is an SPS referee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both also, I think we MMS SPS referee. At that point of time when I decided to join the course was to know about the sport. But from there, I actually continued to be a referee and a player. Whenever tournaments, for about a year. So I appreciate. We need to appreciate that the referees actually have a very tough job. And like what Win said, they are there actually throughout the whole duration of the tournament. Uh, and it's very tiring mentally also for them, not just physically. And we just also need to understand. I mean, in the spirit of the games, the adrenaline. We are not happy with a certain call by a referee. I think that we draw the line. The respect line needs to be there to take a step back and just maybe think through that our actions may affect uh, the team play itself. Like things like we learn about penalty. I mean, for those who wants to know, like but let's say we are called out if we behave, we behave, we argue the referee. It could cause a teammate who's not at fault to be also called out by the referee, and the referee has every right to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's because of sometimes we players may need they don't know, they need to learn the game properly. So you notice a lot of players who have gone through referee course, where usually even we got bad calls or uncalled for decisions, we usually just trust the referee, we move on.
Let it go.
Yeah, there we go. I think it's something that we're trying to role model the other players. It's not worth it, to push the anger towards a situation.
Yep.
Focus on helping the team for the next point or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So
But
that's
some players will tend to be a bit funny lah. They
yeah, they
know
are.
that they did something and they
So
want to try to argue their way through because maybe they are louder, maybe they are more senior,
yeah,
or maybe they are older.
yeah,
Yeah, once the ref start to show this kind of, once the ref start to show, I move back, right? These people will start to come. So how to make sure
yeah,
stuff is you, like I mentioned, you go in and check. Yeah, this is a shot. You can't run away, right? Because that is very
yeah,
true. But
yeah,
of course, it's tiring, I understand. But that's the rule of
yeah,
the game, and that's the role of the different people in the
yeah,
field itself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much, guys. And we hope that these topics and why we decide like we decided to come up with this discussion today, because it's not being talked about a lot
yeah,
in the community. So it's the awareness about all these things. Sometimes we tend to think that we are correct, but because we lack of that knowledge, and then like what you guys mentioned just now, it's really very good, because it's like, at least for those who went through the course, the SPS referee course, and you are also a player, you learn to empathize of what
yeah,
that person is going through. You learn to understand that, hey, they are also doing their job. They're just doing their job just like you. So it's about understanding your role and your
yeah,
responsibilities. If you're a player, you're a player. If you're a referee, then you're a referee, right? So
yeah,
we all have our part to play. And it's all about respecting that boundaries lah. And also certain
yeah.
things,
They are the unsung hero.
the unsung heroes.
Yeah, clap for them.
Yes. Yay,
Yes,
unsung
well
heroes.
Correct,
summarized.
correct.
Well.
We also need to put pen, all the frontline people. Cik. Yeah, which is true lah. Yeah, and hopefully this gives a lot of awareness about how challenging it is, and all the physical demands of whatever that you guys decide to explore, even as a player, recreational, tournament, being a ref, or even being a community projects initiative like what Yusman mentioned, or even when you are being arrowed to be, for example, the captain of a team, or to be a coach of a team. I think to understand your role and responsibilities is very important to grow the sport together, to be able to move forward, and also to ask questions, and to see how else can we progress together as a community. Yeah, so that is really important lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. Anything else to add on before we end today's 2 hours of sharing?
Oh, 2 hours already.
Wow.
Yes, that was ready, right? Cannot feel lah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We started at 3. It's now it's about 5 already. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else to add, guys? No?
I think
Oh, it's good.
yeah, like I think that's how what some of them was talking in the chat lah. I think like what Marcus said. I think the committee in Singapore is a unique committee because that it is small. So it is to other people they feel that we are like a closed group. That means like a very secluded or very private group itself. That's how some of the new player will sit at one corner. If you see sometimes the newer players will sit at one corner, then trying to observe and see. And actually the people in the pinball field, right, although they are very loud sometimes, or nonsense, good-hearted people or funny
Mm.
people that willing to share
Like all
any players
go-hearted.
really.
Good.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course some of them they will be joking around lah, but in terms of that they are, I don't think that everybody is, I don't think anyone is trying to hold on to that particular knowledge or skill and don't want to share, and this is mine, I don't want to share with people. Even sometimes they know certain things, they just give their point of view, then maybe somebody people that can give give their input. So there is no seniority like, okay, oh, this is the open player, this is the, or the noob player. No, I don't think when we sit together it is all mixed up together. So that is something that I think what we want to share with the whole world. That pinball, yes, it is a very niche activity and it can be quite pricey for certain how depend on how far you want to go. But it is not something that is like wow very difficult, or that is so far away. You need rocket science to play these sports. It's not. It's just really having fun together, and you taste the pinball, uh, taste the leadership, taste the kind of teamwork feeling. Right, it's the same thing like you do Dragon Boat, but just based on land. That is, you can feel the teamwork very instantly. Yeah, and because of the adrenaline, right, it will keep you alive. I would say. Sometimes we play too stagnant sport. When you play one time paintball, right, you sweat one
Mm.
time play, right, your brain start to open up very, very. You can have a new perspective in the problem that you face in your daily life. Right? You just need to have one shot on your body, right, you'll wake up already. Physically and
I
mentally.
got idea.
If 20 shots,
Yeah,
how?
correct,
Too,
correct.
a lot of
So
ideas.
I got injured already.
so so
Cannot think already.
that is something that I think for young players don't feel that the open division or the division two or the senior or the national team player are like that high level. It's not. We are also weekend training together, chit chat together. Come over to talk to us lah. I mean, we are not monster ma. Although some of us look very scary when we talk lah. But yeah, but is it's not that bad, really. It's not that bad. And yeah, that's maybe I want to shout out to the people that have a tendency or have a wanted to join paintball or have played paintball or want to take a little bit more steps to reach out to play in a bit more competitive. Really just come and join us. Then another point that I want to sort of sum up is also main thing is what do you want in the field lah. That is something. Don't change your identity or change your objective of playing paintball to someone else or something else. If not, you won't enjoy the sports. Whether you want to become a referee, whether you want to become a player, whether is it you want to be a manager or you want to like maybe like you want to play lesser paintball, but yet using paintball as a drive to drive PSP. It's all different way of building the community. But main thing is you must enjoy doing it. If not, you won't see yourself doing it for so long. Yeah. So you see us, we have quite a high turnover rate. People at the start will come on very on, buy gears, do this, do that, do this, do that. The next moment, I wouldn't say it's a fever, but sometimes it's commitment catch up with them. Sometimes it's really situation doesn't allow them, but some of them is really the fever, the fever, be the 3 minute fever, then move on. Then it is very hard to drive the sports to a next level or even drive it to become very common nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need all kind of angle to publicize, to promote, to market the sport so that when there is more people playing the sports, everybody will be enjoying a little bit more. Yeah. Instead of always seeing the usual face, like people see my face, I see people's face. The usual people.
Should people.
Have more people come in, you change the whole dynamic. Yeah. Of the pinball itself. It's very different. Yeah.
Correct. The Sundays club people lah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really, really.
Weekend warriors.
The weekend warriors. Saturday, Sunday also, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also would like to add one more thing because I think some of like probably the ladies are a bit shy to like come forward to like ask or to approach us, I do have some people like coming through IG and Facebook to ask me about stuff. So I think you can just continue to through whatever platform to reach to us, and that's how you start your paintball journey. Don't be afraid, just ask. So not if not in person, then probably through IG, Facebook, or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, talk to us. So I think that's how we also want to grow the sport, and we want to make ourselves approachable to the rest of the community.
Can. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your perspectives. And I think before we end, I would like to share some more comments by some of our friends
Very
here. Okay.
and to viewers.
Yeah. So Bozohal said, what join pinball first step that the community will definitely throw in to help, and we need to grow the sport. Yes, correct.
Mm.
We
Yep.
definitely agree. And Vincent named to win. He said it's very natural development for a serious athlete to go into officiating and coaching. Wow, is it your boss? Ah?
No, this is our Vincent. Vincent
Oh,
in
Vincent.
CCC. So it's our ex-colleague.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, can.
So yeah.
Thank you for like giving Wayne the
No, like it's not me, it's the committee that make it
committee. Yes.
conducive for us to do it, you know.
Okay, I'm trying to skip all Azmi's comments.
Kena censored.
You see lah Azmi, do the pass the bottle challenge one frame to another. Ayo. Can. All right. So I think that's pretty much from the four of us. Okay. Thank you very much for tuning in the live. It's really long. I think it's about 2 hours, but thank you for being with us today at this Sunday afternoon for these 2 hours to actually be
No
more
problem.
aware about pinball, and hopefully that it creates more awareness about the sport. And
Yep.
do let us know if you have any questions. You can always post the comments even after the live, and do
Yeah.
like and share this post to any of your friends who wants to know more about pinball. And we will definitely put this video on our YouTube channel. So you can subscribe at Grundy Wellness Network. I will even put this at our podcast. We have our own podcast called Grundy Live Chats at Spotify. So if you love to listen to just Spotify or just audio, I will upload it there as well. And we will be having our next live for our next topic on next Saturday at 3 p.m. So it's next Saturday at 3 p.m. We'll be talking more about how water-based activities can help in terms of our physical health. Yeah, and I will have another three more guests joining us for next week's live. Who are they? I'm not going to say. Okay, just wait for updates and you will know who are the mystery guests. Okay, I just like to keep it very mysterious. Yeah, but I think we know lah, one of them.
Then you said like that, right? The whole world will start to ask me already.
That's why. That one you'll confirm lah. You know, like kidding. Okay. And thank you very much, guys. Oh yes, and Grundy is actually having our webinar this 20th of June. Okay, we'll be doing more on for to support the community if they want to start to be healthy again. So we are doing a webinar, a 3 hours webinar from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you think that your friends need the start to talk about how they can help them to be active again, okay, you can always join that webinar. It's via Zoom, so it's virtual lah. So you don't have to really worry. So you can just DM or PM us if you want to know more about the webinar as well. And before that, my husband want to show something to everybody. You want to say something or not?
No,
No, Ayo, si Mami.
New baby.
The new
New
baby, yeah. Just now,
I think he wants another one. I found.
Oh no, please guys. Si Langkawi the Thailand. Never mind lah.
Haifa, can I share something?
Yes,
This
please,
was
go ahead.
I just received.
Yes. Is it the update about the?
Okay, there you go. Not sure how clear it is.
Okay,
Oh, can or not?
clear. This is very.
Okay, I go back. Good.
Yeah, can.
So. Oh no, what happened?
Very bright.
Too bright. There
This
you
one,
go.
you want to share the screen?
Yes.
I think you can
Oh, you
share a
can share your
screen.
screen. But very
Can I?
well.
Okay, never mind. Just to show later,
Yeah.
we'll share on our Facebook page
Yes,
soon.
can.
Yeah. So there's Aldo and his team. So the orphanage is housing 154 children, out of which about more than 30 are babies and toddlers.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are rice bags and baby supplies, medicine. So thank you Aldo and the team, Sabas, and thank you Black, Izwan, Fatlon, and Raizat, for making this happen with our
Thank you.
partners over there. Even though we can't be there, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you
All
guys.
right.
Right. All
Oh,
of
I
us
see. I can
participate.
see.
All
Thank
our
you.
love. Our love.
Okay.
Can. All right.
Stay
Thank you,
safe.
everybody. Stay safe,
Stay safe.
everybody.
See
Thank
you
you very much
guys.
for the
Thank
live.
you
Okay,
for
and
the
thank
Thank
you
you for
for
having
joining
participation.
us.
us.
Okay.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.